What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? And what an after hours show. Yes, I am talking about GameStop and AMC are back in the spotlight. But before we get started, remember to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Man, and I was just talking about the AMC Leap. I've been sitting in the AMC Leap going into close. I was already up over 250%. But I am holding at this point. I didn't take the play because of any Wall Street bets things. It was more based off of fundamentals. Myself believing that AMC was going to actually recover through this whole summer time period and openings and everything. That was my play. Just so happens that it looks like Wall Street bets got their hands on it again, which is fine by me. That's perfectly fine. But being said, I mean, what else to say? GameStop is up at like 185 right now. So that is just absurd. Already up well over 100%. So, I mean, that pretty much takes up the news, and we'll call it there. Totally joking. I actually wanted to talk about today in general. Powell did come on again today. Again, he reiterated, was asked a lot of the same questions. I know the bond yield was brought up a couple different times. He kind of avoided that as far as like with the banks and everything. He said that's not really his realm. There's other meetings, I guess, coming up for that. But ultimately, market kind of did sell off a little bit again this morning. It wanted to try to do a repeat of yesterday, but people were a little more reassured from yesterday. So there wasn't no crazy sell-off. We did have a little bit of a flat moment there for a little while till Powell pretty much reiterated the fact that there will be no rate hikes, which in fact a lot of stocks started moving at that point, which was a good sign. But being said, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the charts. And I mean, we might as well, let me just go over SPY first, and then we'll get into GameStop and all that. SPY in itself, like I said, we broke and we came down a little bit. This was just the initial sell-off. Again, we tried to do a little bit of repeat yesterday, although, again, the reassurance held us at this 385 mark, which is a strong support. I thought we were going to hold before we did this, but that was definitely a Powell play there. But being said, he reiterated everything he said, and he talked, reassured everybody that the rates and everything, that they're not really a concern at the moment, that everything is essentially fine, that yes, we still do need more money at the moment, stimulus. Once that gets approved, I think, we're just seeing the ignition right now. I think once the stimulus gets passed, if it gets passed, I can see if the stimulus doesn't get passed or gets reduced or anything like that, I can see us pulling back a little bit again. But ultimately only because of the fact that our economies are like growing very well. But again, Powell keeps reiterating, no, we still need the money. There's still a lot of people out there. There's still a lot of people that are struggling, that haven't found work. And he's trying to relay that message. So reassuring on the stimulus package. Again, once that officially becomes official, even if it just gets signed by the Senate, that thing is going to fly. But we'll see how that goes. Like I said, like I've been talking about on Sunday, my Sunday update, that this was the setup, that we were looking for this week. Everything's playing out. I said to buy the dips, and that's what we're doing, because right now we're getting ready to jet. And again, the next 2 months, I think we're really flying. As soon as we get that stimulus and everything opens back up, vaccines, everything is looking good. Pretty much everybody's pretty much over the pandemic. People want to get out. They have a lot of money to spend, a lot of money in the market, and it's going to fly. Again, fall, that might be a different story. But as of right now, for the next 2 months, I think we're really going to rip. Biggest bull market yet. But being said, so SPY still looking good, retesting, going back for all-time highs, if not overnight. We'll see how that goes. QQQ has been struggling a little bit here, but I think because of the whole rate thing and trying to normalize tech. That's why it's been kind of struggling, but I think it's only just a matter of time before this picks up. Once this does pick up, say stimulus stuff gets injected, I think for infrastructure purposes and everything like that, I think this is really going to start getting moving again and get us rocking. So, but being said, QQQ still over the 20 to 50, which is a good sign. We got back over that today. Maybe we gap up over the 200, and then we know we can rip at that point. So that looks good. VIX, it's coming back down, which is good. TLT bumped a little bit. That was a little concerning. That was just selling off too. But the metals are starting to sell off as well. Bitcoin is pushing up with the market. There's been more companies coming out saying they're buying Bitcoin. So like I talked about before with that whole, if companies invest 10%, this thing could really push. Like Kathy Wood said, this thing could really push to at least 100K, if not more at that point. But we'll have to see how that works. But it is consolidating nicely, actually, to be honest. So Bitcoin could be an awesome play too if you do play Bitcoin. I typically just invest in Bitcoin. I don't really play it like I do stocks. But Tesla. There's a big support here, and it's why this is struggling here today. I scalped this today. You also got going against the 50 here, which is a big struggle to get back over. But once it does break over this 50, if we do gap up over this tonight, load the boat because we're going for all-time highs. Just my opinion. Don't whole account anything. Please don't. Risk management is still always advised. Square. I really like Square, and I actually after hours it's breaking over this. So this might actually gap up before we can even make a play on this. But I like Square for tomorrow. Airbnb, it's popping up, which I wanted down. I'm actually kind of hoping earnings tomorrow after the bell tanks this, just so I can get a good position. But that's what I'm looking for on Airbnb. Apple, I've debated a couple different times on taking this. But again, big tech is just struggling in general. Facebook, not in a good spot. If it's big tech, a lot of value stocks are really running right now. Everything else is just kind of flat. Spot, still rocking this. This needs to pop back up. I'm actually, if this does pop up or I'm gonna break even on this, I might actually get out of this and move those funds over to something else right now. Really just depends. Etsy, not my favorite. Disney is finally coming down. You still holding that. Looks like it's trying to make a comeback here. Pelletier, it's wedging here nicely. So we might have another day here, and then we get a nice breakout maybe on Friday, if not tomorrow, of this wedge. That would be definitely a plus. Like to see this thing. If it does, to be honest, if it breaks this wedge, you could see at least maybe a 35, if not $38 move. You can try 40. So in that one as well. And then DM still in this one, waiting for this to recover and push back up. Fastly, I like Fastly. It's been kind of really hanging out and consolidating here. It's got big potential to the upside. So I am going to leap in this. So we'll see how this one goes. NNOX isn't one of my favorite ones. Not a huge fan of this one. I know a lot of people are. I know they got some kind of approval or something that came out today. That's why it's starting to move. High Tide looks like it's basing good here. As long as this stays in here tomorrow, I might actually grab this tomorrow. Play this penny. Try to run it up a couple cents. That might be pretty good. ALLM is struggling real bad. I am out of that position, reallocating to more high conviction. I want to play more high conviction stocks at this point. Planet 13 still setting up great. This has been great support here. If it does come back down into here, it might actually be good for another dollar plus pump coming up. The very good Butcher finally pushed back up to 5. Only a matter of time. I know the big supply chain, they actually report earnings. I think I overheard the earnings is in April. So if they do the Toronto Exchange, I I think it's next month, or maybe it's in April. I'm not really exactly sure when that is, but once that ball starts, it looks like it's starting to gain momentum again. So this is definitely a plus. And again, if it does break out of this wedge here, we can definitely do some big running. Evogen, not the greatest spot. Well, not the greatest spots. Riot looks like it's starting to kind of consolidate, but looks like Bitcoin is starting to push up. So this might actually gap up by tomorrow. Have to see how that one plays out, but yeah, we'll definitely have to see that one. VIPs playing range actually really good here. Have to see how that one plays out as well. She has earnings coming up, so watch out for that. Space has earnings. I don't want to play anything. I think anything's a lot of ones are too close to earnings. I don't want to play it. If it's a week out, I like playing it, but if it's more than a couple days, it's not a high conviction one. I don't really like playing it either. This is actually a really good one too. I didn't even notice this. Proto Labs. I really like this actually. This setup is beautiful right now. For some leaps out of here with 286 potential. Yeah, that's definitely one I'm looking at tomorrow. GME. Let's see where GME is at. I know I talked about bringing up GameStop here, and I didn't even bring it up. I just kind of got into everything. Yeah, GameStop is at 168 now. Topped out almost 200. I won't be surprised. Again, pull back, gap up. We'll have to see how this plays out, to be honest. The second leg of this whole GameStop conundrum that's going on here. It'll be interesting to see where that goes. When coming down finally, CCL. I mean, a lot of the recovery stocks are starting to move, but they're starting to sell off, which is a good sign, which might actually be a good sign for tech. I know airlines has been pushing hard the past couple of days. Peloton, ELF has been cruising. WBA. Walgreens could be a good one. AREC, I'm not interested. Salva's still good. It's consolidated a lot on this one. I've been debating taking this one, but I have not taken it. AMC is still pushing up. It's sitting at 11. I think AMC could have a pretty good run. Look at 20. Again, I took it for a value recovery. I think everything going on, this one will definitely really shoot up. So I'm holding on to my leap, even though this is getting pumped right now. I believe in the value that it does have. Am I getting diamond hands this? Probably not. If this actually cruises up to 15 or more, I'll probably actually sell it. I'm not going to hold this leap for that long, but I do have that leap for that one. WWE, like I said, it's held so well during this whole this correction down. And now it's just pushing up nice and smooth and building premium. That's, again, why I like WWE. If you can find a good base on WWE, I like to load the boat on this one because you can definitely, it's nice and steady, right? And the contracts don't get shoot up if there's any kind of correction. TAP is actually looking good after hours. Rock energy drink, I know he's going to promote this bad boy. So this one could really rock it, to be honest. So maybe one to watch as well. But that could be a good one as well. Tilray is pushing up now, so that's definitely a plus. I want to see this one actually make a comeback as well. We'll see how that does. Maybe everything is starting to push again. Maybe the MJ space is pushing. I know Planet 13 has been kind of rocking back and forth, so we'll have to see how that plays out. As far as next week, I think or tomorrow, I think there's, if I recall correctly, I think there's a bank stress test tomorrow. From what I saw earlier today, I was looking at the Powell stuff. There is a stress test tomorrow, it looks like, or Outlook conference. I'm not exactly sure if that's the results of a stress test or what that is exactly, but that is at 11:10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. So that'll be something to watch out for. If we have some kind of some craziness going on tomorrow at 11, just be aware it is probably from that stress test. Being said, though, I mean, like I said, we needed this correction. I think it's kind of scared everybody, but ultimately, I think it was just the dip buy for getting ready again for what's about to happen, because there's a lot going on. There's a lot of good news going on right now, and again, lots of money in the market, flooded in the market. A lot of people saving. Could be historical. So get ready. Hope you have some powder. Hope you can shift stuff around, right? If you find that some stuff isn't moving quite there, right? High conviction, make sure you're focused on your best 3 to 4. And let's make that money, manage risk, and let's go get it. All right. Take care, guys, and I will see you guys later.